Let's fix. Oh, let's fix this. This lighting is terrible, y'all. This lighting is trash. That's a little bit better. Still not 100% on how I want it, but it's not too bad. Let's see here. Apply. I think that'll have to work for now. We'll give everybody a second or so to get in. That was a majestic. And that was a majestic. We'll wait a little bit longer, my friends. Probably give it like 2 or 3 minutes. Let people get in here. It's a little early, so we might not get an insane turnout, which is completely fine. I don't wanna leave some time. Boom, 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 boom. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm gonna give everyone, if y'all are okay and be patient with it, I'm gonna give people like another 3 or 4 minutes to get in here, so y'all can chill until then. Let me know how your pre-releases have gone, if you have any. I'm gonna put this jacket on real fast. All right, we are back. What is the playmat of specifically? Just a Ram's Tree of the Pits? Yeah, it's like their art for the pits. So I'm assuming it's like the docks, right? Because you have the water over here, and like all the pit stuff, like all the. If you've seen Arcane from League of Legends, it seems like to me it's a lot like that. And you have the dock with the tavern over here. I'm pretty sure this is something to do with the lore, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I did win way. I won my first pre-release. Went 4-0 on Uziri. Yeah, of course. The ninja stuff was fun. I actually didn't go with ninja, though. We ended up playing good old Uziri. So, okay, I think we're good enough here. So I was going to do this into a video, but I figured it'd be better for a live. I have a pre-release here in like 2.5 hours. And I'd rather just casually go through and how I approached it, but also just have fun and talk about the pool that we got. So I have all the cards here that I ended up pulling. I just pulled out the 2 Majestics that I pulled. So we ended up winning the event. And we ended up getting the Cold for Uziri. The full only is really hard to make shine with my lighting setup. So I apologize for that. But we ended up winning the Cold for Uziri. I let someone else get the playmat because I already have the playmat from my spoiler video, doing my spoiler video. So someone else in the community got the playmat, which was awesome. And then when you go, you end up getting the double-sided cold foil tokens. So these are the cold foils. One side's Blood Rot, Pox, and Inertia, and the other side's Ponder and Frailty. So it was really fun. Yeah. So went 4-0 on Uziri. Round 1 was against a... What was it against? Round 1 was against Arachne. Round 2 was against... I think all 3 of my rounds actually were against Arachne. No, round 1 was against a Riptide. Yep, round 1 was against a Riptide. Round 2 and round 3 were against Arachne, and then round 4 was against Azalea. We actually had 2 Azaleas in the top 4, which was pretty big deal. Because I didn't think she would do that good, but some people had some insane Azalea pools. But yeah, we ended up pulling 2 Majestics in the set. In the pool, we had Quiver, Rustling Leaves, which is pretty cool. And then we ended up pulling Dishonor, which is awesome. That's one less one I have to get now when I get my boxes. So those are the 2 Majestics I got, but I'm not going to sit here like Arsenal Pass because I'm not at the level they are and like go through every individual card, but I will show you kind of like how I approach a pool when I grab it and when I open, and then also just show you some cool cards that I got and kind of go from there. So I think I'm just making sure I have all the cards 100%. I'm pretty sure I do. Okay. So these aren't in order that they were in the pack, but I'll just kind of go through them. All the tokens and stuff I'll put off to the side. Token. I think all the tokens are together, which is nice. Okay. Token. Okay, sweet. And most of them are actually still in order. So what I normally do is I separate them by class cards, and then I put the generics over in a pile. I don't even look at my generics yet. I just look at class cards. So Wayfinder's Crest we obviously got was a Ranger equipment, and then I put my equipment in its own side too. Assassin Ninja. So basically what I'll do is like Ninja, Ranger, Assassin, and then the hybrid cards in the middle, right? So Ninja, Ranger, Assassin. So Assassin Ninja will go right here. Another Assassin Ninja, generic. We'll divide all these up first, then we'll kind of talk about it. I think almost all these are still in the same pile. So all these are generics. I don't even look at my generics yet. Assassin right here, generic, Assassin. And as a pre-release, you don't have to go hard and try to win it. We had people playing a different hero every single round and having fun with it, right? You pick however you want to do it. I wanted to try to win the first one because I really wanted the Cold 4 Uziri for fun. Today will be just about, hopefully I get some cool pulls and, you know, maybe try out some different heroes as long as I have the pull for it. But right now we're just dividing it up into different classes. Most of them are all still together, which makes this way faster. Oh, this is Assassin. Are these all Assassin? Yeah, cool. Assassin, then we have Ninja cards, which are here. Then we have our equipment, which is here. More Ninja cards. I had a couple Assassin Ranger cards. I don't know where those went. Are they over here? Hold up, y'all. Oh, I know where they are. I knew I didn't have all my cards. I was like, wait, my best cards aren't even freaking here. And then we got a couple all our Assassin Ranger. I noticed that you're getting more Assassin Ranger than Assassin Ninja cards, at least from my pulls. All these are Assassin Ranger. Pathing Helix sitting in there. That's an old card. Ranger, Assassin. So this is how I do it. I line them up like this, kind of see how it is, and then what I'll end up doing is I organize them by color, which doesn't normally take that long. Yep. And then I lay them out like this. This is if you're just trying to really get an idea for maybe who you should play. Just kind of go about doing it like this. I think this is pretty efficient. Like this whole system takes you like 10 minutes. If you're going really slow because you're wanting to see the cards for the first time, that's totally fine. You'll still have more than enough time. So that's all of our Ranger cards. Our Assassin Ranger hybrid cards are right here. Right? And then we have our Assassin cards. Just gotta make sure are in color order. Bop, bop. Well, that's an Assassin Ranger too. Toxicity. Yep. Okay, cool. Then we line these up right here, just like so. So you can see, I had a good amount of Assassin. And then we'll put generic over there with our equipment. And like I said, Assassin Ninja didn't have hardly any. Just had plunge and bleed out. And then finally, recoil. We ended up getting a foil recoil, which is pretty cool. Okay. And then Ninja. So this is an easy way to see like what your classes are. This seems like common sense, and so this isn't meant to be like no one else knows how to do this. It's just showing you how I did it. So basically, that's how I did it. I still don't look at my generics yet. I might sift through them really quickly just to see if I have any like super powerful generics. Which in this case, like my key generics are Wreck Havoc. I have that. Looking for Scrap, which I think is a really good generic. A red Cut Down to Size, a red Come to Fight, a red Ravenous Rabble is a big one. Feisty Locals is a pretty good one too. But those are like the really key generics I had. And then we finally go to equipment. I'll put all the generic equipment to the side because that doesn't matter as much when it comes to deciding who you're going to play. And then I had one Assassin Ranger equipment, one Ninja equipment with Mask of Many Faces, and one Ranger equipment with Wayfinder's Crest. So that's how I look at it initially, and then I kind of see like how many cards do I have in each one, right? So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 Ranger cards with a headpiece. And then for hybrid that we can use, we have 16, 19, 20. So 20 cards we can put in a Ranger deck. Assassin was really nice. We had 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 regular Assassin cards. And then the good thing about Assassin is Assassin can branch into both hybrids. So you can use both sides, which really widens Assassin's card pool, which is why I think Assassin's, in my opinion, going to be the most consistent hero in Limited, just because of the access to the card pool. Because like Ranger and Ninja can only delve into one, as you can see, into one hybrid, whereas Assassin can delve into both. So we have all these, and then we have access to all of these, right? So Assassin was a pretty wide pool. And then Ninja over here, we had, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 Ninja cards. So our Ninja pool is really small. I wanted to go Ninja to have some fun with it. I think Ninja's going to be really hard to do in Limited. You're going to have the really right pool. So at this point, like just card pool wise, Assassin's the best. However, I do have some really good Ranger cards over here. So I kind of looked at my Ranger cards. And like as we're looking at it, right, Azalea is really hard to play. You have to have a lot of ways to opt. So I did have Wayfinder's Crest, which is nice when you defend with it. Look at the top card of your hero, of target hero deck. I also have a way of opting with the generic headpiece equipment. But I had stuff like Falcon Wing, Skybound Shot, 2 Skybound Shots, Mercantile Grapple. I only had 2 pumps though, and only having 2 pumps really hurts my ability, in my opinion, to play Lexi. And even Riptide, because he wants to like attack multiple times a turn. Only 1 Spire Sniping. If I would have gotten like a red of these, maybe I go with Azalea. Withering and Infecting Shot at yellow, and then finally a Withering Shot at blue. So most of these are good for sheer damage, but my thought was, only because these are 2 are buffs. I really only in this list have 4, 7, 11 arrows. Sorry for my alarm, y'all, if y'all can hear that. 11 arrows. Hold on 1 second, guys. 11 arrows total. So like to me that wasn't quite enough. Yes, you can mix in some generic attack actions, but Riptide really wants, in my opinion, wants to go wide. And if you don't have a lot of like rabbles and stuff, or a lot of ways to give go again, like looking for scraps, it can be a little rough. And I basically have another yellow Ravenous Rabble and another blue looking for scraps. So I basically had 4 go again cards. which again isn't bad. So Riptide was an option, but overall just wasn't comfortable enough because I hadn't played Riptide a whole lot. So I ended up not doing Ranger. Then I looked at my Ninja pool. Yeah, pre-release was a lot of fun. Ninja is really hard to play in Limited, I think, because you have to have a ton of starters and you have to have the Surging Line. If you don't have the Surging Line, then you're just a really bad 2-block deck. I have Masking Many Faces, which does help, right, to give a basically get a combo card. Like I could have named Bonza Ancestry or something. But my only starters were Twin Twisters, Deadly Duo, which you technically don't even count as a starter in Katsu. It's only really in Benji. Surging Strike. So 3 starters here is what I had. And then if you keep looking, Head Jab is 4, Descendant Gustwave is 5. And then the rest are really Benji starters, which is all the blues, like Be Like Water, Blue, Deadly Duo, Descendant Gustwave, Spinning Wheel Kick. All those are Benji starters. So really, if you look at it correctly, we had like 2 Katsu starters with Surging Strike and Twin Twisters, and then Descendant Gustwave, so technically 3. And then you have basically like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Benji starters. So no matter what, it was a little bit hard. And most of our combo cards were like Recoil, 1-2 Punch, and Back Heel Kick. And the issue with these in Limited is, since a lot of people are playing Assassin, a lot of people have 3 blocks, and these all come in for 2 or 3. So if you're playing Katsu, like they're easily blocked. Yeah, Ninja is very unplayable. You have to literally draw straight fire to play Ninja, because the Assassins can just they all have all 3 blocks. So if you don't have attack reactions, if you don't have like Conceal Blade and like the dagger one, whatever it's freaking called, I forgot what it's called. If you don't have those, like, I mean, the only thing you could do is go with Benji and then have a lot of 3-block, like Come to Fights and like stuff like that in your deck, so you can like play a value game. But even then, it's really hard. So that was out of the question. So now we're at Ninja or Assassin. So now we had to decide, like, do we play Arachne or do we play Uziri? And so the first thing I'm going to look at in an Assassin pool is stealth cards. How many stealth cards do I have? So let's put this really fast. These are the hybrid cards. Put the generic cards over here. So 2 things I need to look at. 1, how many stealth cards do I have? Because I need to see and make sure I can play either of these heroes, because both these heroes rely on the stealth. So we ended up having this many stealth cards, which was really, really, really nice. We ended up having 4, 8, 10, 13 stealth cards, including a full color playset of isolates, which is huge in this format. If you can get isolate and Uziri, so if I don't pull a lot of isolates, maybe you go with something like Arachne. But if you're pulling this many isolates in your deck, this is basically 3 turns where I'm going to have a dominated Uziri ability. And if they don't have a D-React to then play off of that, then they're in trouble, right? So I ended up pulling 3 isolates, which was super nice. And I also pulled stealth cards that have an on-hit, like Sedate, Infect, and Wither. All of these are either Sedate, Infect, or Wither. I actually pulled 4 isolates, 2 yellows. So I had 5 stealth cards that have an on-hit, and I have 4 isolates, so 4 dominated stealth cards. So to me, like, immediately, I want to go Uziri if I can, because having 4 cards to give dominate, and then I can use Uziri ability something in, is really nice. So, like, my last step is now I got to look at my generics. So, like, what do I have for generics? We have, like, Ravenous Rabble and Come to Fight, which are good in both. Looking for Scraps, kind of good in both. So I got to look for my 6 power attacks, 6 and 5 power attacks here, right? So Humble's a good one. Freewheeling Renegades, this is a trap card. Don't run it. I ran it for block fodder. Let's see if it's a Finibot action card, it has -2. So if you put like a 3 power stealth card down and then use attack for 3 if they blocked with something, not very good. Feisty Locals can be used for both. Cut down the size. Seek Horizon. Come to Fights kind of for both. Feisty Locals. Ravenous Rabble. All these are used for both. Block fodder. So then I look at this, and I end up having make sure I have everything here before I go over it. So I looked at after looking at my generics and my and my hybrid cards, I end up pulling 2 Virulent Touches, which is super good card. This card is actually stupid and sealed. It can't be played from hand. When the Chain Link resolves, if Virulent Touch is defended by a card from hand, create a Blood Rot Pox token under the defending hero's control. So if you play like any stealth card with Uziri, it's super nice because if they defend it for 3, right, or they overblock for 6, you can still put this in, create a Blood Rot Pox. If they're at 1 life and you put this in, like, or you just attack with this from Arsenal, it's a really bad for them because they have to block 4, which usually in this format is a 2-card block. And they're going to create a Bloodlock's Pox token. So you're going to take half of their hand, and they're going to have to pitch a blue in order to block it, like if they're at 1 life. So it's really good. I pulled 2 of those, including a foil, which is really nice. I also pulled 2 Death Touches, 1 at blue and 1 at red. Arguably the best card in the set, in my opinion, from a like less than Majestic and down standpoint. And then we pulled 2 Cut Down the Sizes, which is really nice just for sheer power. We pulled a Destructive Deliberation, which was a 5 power. We pulled a Humble, which will turn off their hero power. That's 4/4. And then we pulled a Wreck Havoc. So as you can see, we pulled 3, 6, 9 good 5 powers or more with 1 4 power. So that's what kind of led me to Uziri. If I would have only pulled like 5 of these or 4 of these or maybe even 6 of these, I probably would have went with a Rockney. But being able to do this consistently like every turn was really, really nice. And the 3 Isolate. So like playing Isolate into like a Wreck Havoc for 6, winning the game, which is how I won my final game. Or playing an Isolate into a Death Touch is super, super nice. So that was kind of my deciding point, because with a Rockney, what I've noticed is you can give your first thing go again, but his ability is better in like a blitz format where like you can also put in other cards that have more devastating on hits. So like you could do like Infect and a stealth attack into Command and Conquer, or a stealth attack into Leave No Witnesses, right? Something where like they're going to take your first attack in blitz, or they would be more apt to take your first attack because they don't know what's coming on that second attack. In limited, especially if you're playing off 2-card hands, I know you're going to come in with some 0-cost attack. So that's why I ended up going to Uziri. Because with the mix of stealth cards and the mix of like 6 powers or 5 powers I could put in, it was really nice. And we also pulled stuff like these traps, which actually came in handy. For our generics that did really well. Come to Fight's obviously so good. You can buff an attack with it. It's a block 3, right? I had one turn where I played Come to Fight. I had a 3-card hand, I think. Yeah, I played Come to Fight. I had 3-card hand and an Arsenal. I had a blue. So I had this hand, which was really, really awesome. Let me find it. That I had this in Arsenal. I don't remember the blue I had, but just for argument's sake, we'll say this. So I had a Come to Fight, a blue, a Looking for Scrap, and I had a Death Touch in Arsenal. They had flipped my Death Touch with Wreck Havoc, so it kind of sucked because they knew it was coming. But I was able to pitch a blue, play Come to Fight, 2 floating. Then I played Look for a Scrap, banishing a 1 power attack, giving it Go Again and +1. So I was coming for 8 Go Again, and I still had 1 resource floating. And then I ended up playing Death Touch for 6. So I played a 14 power attack. That was in my final game against Azalea to win the thing. That was like a really, really nice turn. So little stuff you can do. I think some of the like winners that I didn't expect that were really nice in the deck. Look for a Scrap is really good, especially if you get an Assassin, because you're going to have some 1 power blues. 1 for 5 Go Again. This format is so nice. And when you combine this with like Threadbare Tunic, which is also so insane. So like let's say you have this hand, which also came up in game 2. So Threadbare Tunic reads gain 1 resource, activate this ability only if you have no cards in hand, right? So I had Threadbare Tunic as my chest. I had a Death Touch in Arsenal. kept trying to arsenal that card as much as possible. And then I had a blue and looking for scrap. So what I ended up doing was I pitched the blue. I spider bite, so I only have one resource floating. I then played looking for scrap, banishing a 1 power, giving it go again for 5 go again. Then I activated Threadbare Tunic because I have no cards in hand, gain a resource, and then I played Death Touch. So I was able to do 12 damage, right? 12 damage counting the spider bite with 2 on hits with spider bite and with Death Touch. So that was really cool. There's just some really cool stuff you can do in this set. I'm trying to think of some other like really good, like I said, Virtual Touch. If you can get that in any assassin, so good, and it's really good in Riptide because you can play a buff, put Virtual Touch face down Arsenal, and then fire it. That one's really good. Another card that was actually really interesting that I'm not saying it's like an A+, but it's better than I think people are giving it credit for. 2 cards. Those 2. Trying to think of any other crazy. Making sure I just remember all of them. Also pulled 1 Razor's Edge, which helped a little bit too. That's a bad card. Cool. Yeah, so just making sure I had it. So one that's really good. I found really good. I found a couple really good, to be honest. I'm looking for my equipment. I had that headpiece. Where'd it go? Sorry, y'all. There it is. Secret Sid. So Secret Sid's actually really good in Ranger. Because destroy Secret Sid, prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to your hero. Opt 1, so you pay 1 to prevent 1, which is really good in some of these like effects like hurl and stuff, and even flick knife if someone pulls it to be able to prevent that 1 damage. And also you get to opt from your deck, which in Ranger could mean Azalea ability, right? Another one that's good in Ranger, I think, and also decent in general is Seek Horizon, right? If you have like this with 1 resource floating and another card in hand, you play Seek Horizon and you put a good arrow on top of your deck, giving it go again if you have Arsenal, and then be able to Azalea ability something in. Virtual Touch, again, one of the better cards in my opinion. Really, really good. Death Touch, which is an obvious one. Threadbare Tunic, you're going to use this more than you think. Actually, a lot, especially if you have a card in Arsenal that's 1 cost. This is so good to be able to play that. And finally, Feisty Locals. I'm not saying this is an insane card, but where this card is really, really nice is when they're on 1 or 2 life. And you play this card when they have like 2 cards in hand. Let's just say they're in. This is not hype enough. Not hype enough. Let's say they're at 1 life, and you've played a Spider's Bite. They block it for 2. They have 3 cards left in hand. Then you play Feisty Locals for 3. If they block with a 3 block and they have no prevention effects, this is going to get +2, which means they now have to double block this. So they have to block a 3 power attack for 6 at 1 life just to prevent, or 5. They have to block 5 total just to prevent this from hitting and killing them. And in this format where you don't have a ton of 3 blocks, sometimes a 5 power attack is going to warrant a 3 card block. So this card, not saying it's insane by any means, but it's actually pretty good. And if you can do this with a come to fight, so it's coming in for 6, and if they block it, it goes to 8, that's also really good. So that one was really good. Underperformers, the main one, it's a trap. Don't run it. Free if you can't. If you do run it, you run it for block fodder. Free Willing Renegades. This card's so bad. It comes in for 4, and if they block it at blue, it will come in for 2. At 5, it'll come in for 3 if it's blocked. The only one that's even remotely good is red. Red comes in for 6 normally, and if it's blocked, it comes in for 4, so they still have to 2-card block it if they want to prevent all of it. That's not bad, but with Uziri, like, I never wanted to use your ability this in. This literally was block fodder most of the time. Yeah, and then if someone wasn't in here before, the Majestics we pulled were Quiver of Rustling Leaves and Dishonor, which is really dope. And then, again, not everybody was in here a minute ago. This is the Cold Foil Uziri we got for winning. And then the double-sided Cold Foil tokens. Double-sided Cold Foil tokens. Yeah, it's really good. The one suggestion I would give to people who are playing limited, this is just my opinion, might be wrong. You're supposed to have you have to have a 30 card deck on average. Not on average. You have to have a 30 card deck playable. You can use cracked baubles. Some people's thought process is to get 30 cards exactly so you see your power cards quicker. But we found a lot, and I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter finding that these games are going longer, like to the final cards, especially Assassin Mirrors. And if you have a 30 card deck, you're probably decking out. That's what I found. So definitely keep that in mind when you're building your deck. I personally would run 35 to 38 cards if you can swing it. Run the cards you have available. Just simple as that. Like, I had around 40 cards I could use, counting my generics, and I ran 35 cards in my deck, and I could have even ran a little bit more if I wanted to. But yeah, that's just my suggestion. But yeah, nothing too crazy. That was pretty fun. We can play like a Talishar game here. I got an hour before I have to leave. An hour before I have to leave, so we can play one or so Talishar games. See if it works this way. Oh, it worked. Sweet. So yeah, it was super fun. I enjoyed it. The card's really fun. Limited in this set is just fun in general. Like, all the games are super close. Super fun to play, because I can pass limited formats, which is fine because it was fun. You had Phi, which was like, yeah, appreciate it, man. It was nice meeting you yesterday too, my man. It's always nice to see people behind the names. Yeah, this set is a lot more fun because in past sets, like, you had Phi, which was the obvious, right? You just went Phi, you force Phi, and you probably win. And then even before that, like, you had Briar. So, like, Tails had Briar, right? Uprising had Phi. Like, it was just really easy to force a certain hero and do well. Whereas in this set, I think nearly every hero is playable if you have the right pool for it. And you can win with every hero, which is really cool. But yeah. Don't know if anybody else had some crazy pulls or crazy. I saw some people pulling like flick knives in the Discord, which was awesome. Saw people pull Van Brandts. I want to pull Van Brandts. I hope I pull Van Brandts. That's my goal. Amplify. Ooh, that's a shitty turn. My turn's no better though. No, don't do this to me. This sucks. I had an equally as bad turn. What? All right, I've never had this happen. Back-to-back turns with no arrow. Never in my life. Oh, both of us fed. Can you attack? Oh my god, both of us are having the worst luck in the world. Give me an arrow, please. Oh my god. Nope. Am I running arrows? Bruh. Okay. We just went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards without an arrow. I've never had this happen in 50 games on Azalea. My wife pulled the Shroud and won the raffle for the playmats. That was nice. She went 3-1-3. Yeah, her only loss was the game we played against each other, and that was super close. It was like 1 life to nothing or something like that. She played really well. She had a really good deck. But I'm glad she won the raffle. At least y'all came out with something, you know? God, this is bad. I've never experienced this in my Azalea games. That's been like the biggest thing about this new Azalea deck is like you don't run into issues with... Bruh. What is this? This is unbelievable, y'all. I've never experienced this. Yeah, Wade, you definitely should um maybe yeah, you can't make it a pre-release, but get with some of your buddies and do like share a box. Each of you pays like not even $20, like $15, and y'all do a little like limited session. One box will do 4 y'all, so 6 packs each for $15. It's actually pretty good. He's taking this. What in the heck, y'all? Okay, so 3 cards engraved, 8 cards total, counting my hand, and then I've opted what? Once, twice, that's 10 cards. Then I've double azalea'd another, that's 12 cards. 12 cards without an arrow. I have never experienced this. Holy crap, y'all. Did someone sabotage my deck? What is this? There's all my arrows. Holy crap, y'all. So I'll dominate on hit. We take a card from his hand. Yeah, the pricing was really nice, and I'm glad that the store was able to get 2 kits because we had such a long waiting list. It was insane. I'm not worried about the mobs, guys, because I can block that. Because he can't pitch to play Shrill, so he's got to play something else. Yeah, this is insane. The fact that I'm even still in this game is crazy. Luckily, he pulled equally as bad hands as I did. Or they pulled equally as bad hands as I did. Interesting. You better hope he can get things go again. Oh no, this might be bad, y'all. If he's got mobs, guys, we're in trouble here. I mean, he can Spellbound Creeper too, so. There's a mob. Can you pay for Shrill? No. That was a good turn. Not drawing arrows for 3.5 turns didn't help. Another Rattlebones. Nice. I guess he's gonna, yeah. And honestly, it'd be better for him to Sonata here. Or not Sonata, to Rosetta here. Ooh, we might be in trouble here, y'all. I don't know if he realizes that I'm not gonna die. Didn't draw an arrow for 15 cards. I have never had that happen with this list. That is a new one. That's actually nuts. Hey, it happens though. Mm. This is why I run sinks right here. Watch, now I'm going to draw like 8 arrows in a row. Yep, here we go. This is funny. Blocking with a Command and Conquer. That's interesting. Okay. What? Let's take an 8. All right. Must have a pretty good turn. Must have to fuse something. There's hard for me to believe they would do this if they weren't gonna plan on using all 3 cards in hand. Okay. Well, they ripped 2 cards from my hand, which is pretty good. Do we care enough, y'all? We'll go pretty low here. But we also have a lace with inertia play potential. Yeah, I think we take this. Unless he can severely disrupt me. Which, there goes. That'll do it. Oh, we're going to Tunic in response. All right, we'll leave that on top. So doing this is going to cost 2. Do we care to put a name counter on it? I don't think we can afford to. No. This is going to cost 1. This is going to cost 2. Yeah, boy. We'll take it. No arsenal for you. That's fine. Unless you cornet peek me, which they could here. I don't know. Nice. Oh, I should have paid. You're taking all this? Oh, they're going to try to keep channel around. Yep. Back-to-back 7s. We'll take it. That's what this matchup I think comes down to. If they can get channel out, they're in good shape. If they can't get channel out, they're in trouble. Kind of just depends on how that goes. Channel is definitely gone after this turn, though. I think I just went off this. Almost. Couldn't quite distress me enough. Eight's going to get dealt to him, and he's going to have to pay for blood rot. And he can't keep an arsenal. Give me an arrow right off the bat, please. Cool. do that. GG. Unless he can deal 8 damage here. Which he might could. Can you do it? If he has an Ether Ice Vein red, literally the one card he needs. I don't know if he still can do it though. Yeah. So like that went as well as he could for him, and he still couldn't win it. Even with getting channel like Frigital, it's hard for them to keep any sort of tempo. Not too bad. All right, y'all. Well, it's just a quick stream. The whole point of it was to go over the card pool. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed it. Y'all were chilling. I gotta leave for my second pre-release here in like 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go do that. But yeah, hopefully y'all have a good weekend. If any of y'all going to pre-releases, good luck on your pulls. Good luck on your games. Hope y'all do well. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, just hanging out. Appreciate you.